Teaching 117. Love each other. 1. People. Rest on solid ground. Stop your step under the shade of this palm tree and hear my voice so that you heal all your ills, regain your strength, and you can continue the walk. See that you have no need to tell me the pains of your heart or where you come from, because I know everything. I know that your spirit comes from a great struggle and has tried to stray from the crooked ways. You come to seek support and strength in me, so as not to faint. When you were about to weaken, when your energies were already running out, you raised my spirit to ask me for help, and I instantly responded, calling you to this oasis of peace, so that you would have a truce in your pain. 2. How many of my teachings have you understood and analyzed from the moment when for the first time you heard this word? In it you understood that the spirit is not perfected in a day, nor in a year, nor in a life, because having an eternal nature, its journey has to be long to achieve its perfection. You have learned to hear the voice of conscience, which always speaks to you of the law, of love, of good, of righteousness and purity, coming to distinguish it from that other voice that comes from the senses of the flesh or the passions of the heart, which does not always lead to the good path. 3. You already know that you have weapons to defend yourselves. You also know which is the shield that protects you, so you have begun to make use of prayer, good thoughts, willpower, and faith. 4. You have learned to give their rightful place in life to the parts that make up your being, an understanding that is essential in the spirit, and after that, occupying a worthy place, are the feelings and the mind. 5. You know now that true spirituality in man does not consist in departing from what belongs to material life, but in harmonizing with all creation, and that the spirit to achieve that harmony needs to walk ahead, be above the human, in a word, be the God. Otherwise the spirit is the slave of the flesh. 6. You know that on my way you cannot pretend love, or purity, or knowledge, because instantly you feel a look that everything penetrates and judges it. You know that for your merits to be real, your virtues and your works, they have to be true. 7. If I speak to you like this, it is not because I come to dim and your supreme perfection, but rather to ask you to make an effort to reach it. 8. Now, when you suffer, when you go through an ordeal, or when you find yourself in the bed of pain, you know too that chalice purifies and renews you. That instance makes you atone for faults, or that it is a wise lesson for the spirit, and then you take it with patience and conformity. 9. You have come to understand that I am building in each of you a temple, and you no longer wish to destroy what is built, but you try to collaborate with me in this work. 10. You have understood well that it is not before men before whom you must make merits to receive from them praise or reward, but in front of your Father, the only one who can value your works. 11. If you understand all these lessons of love that I give you, no matter how reluctant your flesh be and very strong your passions, a submission of the flesh to the spirit will have to be born, which will be a principle to achieve the harmony and order that must exist in man to be worthily called my son. 12. The future of many beings depends on your present. Beloved people, do not doubt it. Then think about this. Get rid of the last remnant of selfishness that you harbor and work for tomorrow's peace and unification. They are essential for the new generations to find a way prepared. 13. Do not doubt that you can carry out this work in the world, because it is not the first time that I entrust my seed to you. Proof of this is that I speak to you in this way, and you understand me. 14. This is the continuation of my lessons, but not the consummation of the times, as interpreted by man. The world will keep turning in space. The spirits will continue to come to earth to incarnate to fulfill their destiny. Men will continue to populate this planet, and only the way of life among humanity will change. The transformations that human life undergoes, they will be so great that it will seem as if one world is ending and another is born. 15. Just as in all times the life of man has been divided into ages or eras, and each of them has been known by something, either by its discoveries, by the divine revelations that within it have men received, by the development of the sense of beauty which you call art, or by their science. So I tell you that this time will be signified by the development of the gifts of the Spirit, that part of your being for which you should have started to cultivate in you, to avoid so many evils and mistakes. 16. Don't you think that human life could be totally transformed, developing your spirituality, cultivating your gifts, and establishing on earth the law of consciousness? 17. If you could realize all that your spirit possesses, but you do not know, despite the millennia that you have inhabited the world and space, because in your egoism, which is love towards yourself, you have already imported science incarnated at the service of material existence. 18. I will be the one who discovers before you the virtues, gifts, beauties, powers, and wonders that are found hidden in your spirit, since this is the right time, because you are gathering the last fruits. 19. Soon all peoples will recognize that I, their Lord, have spoken to them in each of the ages through which humanity has crossed, each one of my revelations being like a rung of the spiritual ladder that I have tended so that all of you can ascend to me. 20. This time will be called the time of light, the age of the Spirit, or the time of truth. But I tell you which will be the time of the elevation of the spirits and that of their vindication. 21. The Spirit is the temple built by me, a sanctuary continually desecrated by man. Much is the arrival of the heir of light so many times prophesied, whose clarity will be seen by all, and under whose heat they will unite as children of the Lord. I am not talking about a religion that welcomes some and rejects others, that proclaims its truth and denies truth to others, or that he uses unworthy weapons to impose himself by force or fear. No, I speak simply of a law explained by a doctrine, which is precisely the message that through this word I have revealed at this time. So when the time comes to get up to give the good news, you will preach peace, love, charity with deeds, unification, and brotherhood. But if on your way you met someone who was hypocritically preaching the same as you, but falsifying the truth, with your works you will expose the lie. If on the contrary, you would meet your brothers who with examples preach truth, love, and charity, then you will join them, because their fight and yours will be the same. 22. I cannot stop telling you that if you find yourself impure and unprepared, you will feel unworthy to carry out this work. So, when you see that others rise up to fight with true faith and purity, do not stand in their way, because it would be double your responsibility before my justice. 23. I warn you of everything so that nothing surprises you, and thus when you emerge for this fight, you truly know, awakening the ideal of elevation. 24. This earth, which has always sent to the hereafter a harvest of sick, tired, troubled spirits, confused or with little advance, will soon be able to offer me fruits worthy of my love. 25. Illness and pain will be banished from your life by leading a healthy and elevated existence, and when death comes, it will find you prepared for the journey to the spirit mansion. 26. Who can be lost or confused when entering the abode of the Spirit, if from this life had already sensed in the moments of praying, meditating, dreaming, or being inspired by my law? 27. Now it seems unattainable to you so much peace and so much good, and it is because you look at all the confusion that reigns around you, confusion that you know will increase in all orders of human life. But I tell you, trust in me, that you watch, Pray and be the tireless swords, so that this stormy night leaves and the light of the new dawn will appear, and the earth feels how its new inhabitants come to sow it with works noble, restoring and building what the foolish and profane destroyed and defile. 28. People, on this day I have revealed to you part of my divine plans for you. I have advanced to you something that belongs to the future, and I have prepared you for the struggle that is approaching all humanity. 29. Meditate well and you will feel strengthened, because in truth I say to you, blessed are those who are reading in this book that my word reveals to you. In it you have found many lessons that were ignored by you. 30. I wanted to make myself heard from those who have nothing on earth, and then use them. I have chosen you among the humble, as in all the times in which I have sought my servants among the simple of heart. You already know that owners of riches in the world are always busy with them and do not remember me. They are entrusted with a time for them to worship what they love so much. But the time will always come to listen to my voice, to take up his cross and follow me. But first they will purify themselves in the crucible of pain. 31. Beloved disciples, there are only 7 years left, which will be 7 dawns in which you will be able to hear me. I want that in that period, to leave your hesitations and affirm your steps, so that you can tell me when the year 1950 arrives. Lord, He has made the unification between us, and we present to you proofs of our spirituality and of our brotherhood. 32. This people knows that I only wait for their elevation to make them hear my voice in their conscience. When I tell them, people, arise and multiply like the dust of the earth, cross valleys, cities, deserts, and seas, and spread with love and humility this teaching. My omnipotent charity will open paths and erase borders. My love will protect you against all persecution or stalking, and I will put my word on your lips when the occasion requires it. 33. Great, very great is this work that I am entrusting to you, because I want you strong and great in spirit. Really, I say that in my Father's heart I cannot harbor egoism. 34. For 7 years I entrust the people who have received these blessed lands, so that they may collect fruits worthy of my divinity. 35. People, have charity and patience with those who are taking their first steps. Advise them with the grace with which I have corrected you. Love each other with the love with which I have loved you, and then there will be harmony between you. 36. Come. My presence is like the shadow of a tree. My word is like the song of a bird. Come to me, hungry and thirsty for justice, sick, poor in spirit and misunderstood. Come to me. 37. I do not reject you for your poverty, or do I despise you for your condition. I know that deep down in each of you there is a spirit that needs my light to rise to light. 38. I bring health to the sick and hope to the troubled. None will leave without consolation for their pain. More when you have achieved peace, you will feel clothed with this dignity that I come to give you. Do not deny the world, nor its vicissitudes and sufferings. Remember that they were the ones who brought you closer to me. Do not distance yourself from your brothers. On the contrary, now that you have seen how I receive you and how I give you, come closer to them, doing what you have seen that I have done among you. 39. For one of you who truly practices my teaching, many will be those who obtain my grace. 40. Prayer, charity, and goodwill. It is all you need so that your knowledge in my teaching may shine like a bright light in the midst of darkness. Testing times are coming, and I want all my disciples to find yourself prepared. 41. In the midst of peace or pleasures, humanity will not call you, but through pain, it will seek you. Get ready, because soon the pain will spill over the world. Then you will be called by the sick, so that you can bring them my balm. Many of your brothers will request your prayer and will also seek your teaching to find the path that leads to spiritual elevation. 42. Do you see how delicate and great is the mission that awaits you? 43. You intimately confess that the revelation that I have made to you at this time is great. If you know how to behave like my disciples, you will see greater lights in my work. 44. Form the people of peace and spirituality. Remove from your hearts the last remnants of fanaticism that you keep. Attain purification through regeneration. And then I will give a sign in heaven that will be contemplated in the world, which will tell you that the day of the Lord has come. That sign will be seen even by the blind and understood by the most rude understandings. 45. Use the strongest weapon that I have entrusted to you, which is prayer. And pray that you will not listen to those who try to extinguish the flame of your faith. Stay alert, people. Do not allow someone to darken your heart, causing you to mistake the path. You already know my law. She is the way. Never deviate from it, and you will have nothing to fear. 46. If on earth there are those who seek to lose you, and there are those who pray for you, because they believe you are lost, think that in the spiritual there are those who watch over each one of your steps. Your heavenly mother protects you under her mantle. Elijah, he cares for you with the love of a spiritual shepherd. And your brothers who in the hereafter live consecrated to good, protect and advise. This is how I speak to those who in the midst of hesitations and doubts are taking their first steps, and frequently they suffer bumps and trips. 47. Soon faith will be kindled in their hearts, and when this is done, nothing and no one can quench it. But before I have to give you mighty chains, so that your heart is strengthened while your spirit goes further and further away of the superfluous. This is how you will rise. Then you will feel how the thirst for truth and love that you made me present has come, making you go full of strength and courage to the fulfillment of your mission. 48. I prepare you with infinite love because my lesson through these spokespersons is not going to be eternal. Soon you will stop hearing this word, and despite it, you will have to be strong in the fight that will come when my word is no longer transmitted in this form. 49. What will you do if you had not understood the Master's lesson? How can you defend your faith if you had not come to know the weapons that could help you defend yourself? Meditate on these words, because many will have to fall again, for not having known how to take advantage of my teachings. 50. People, do not be deaf to my voice or interpret my work crookedly. I have told you that you must make it known with the purity with which I have entrusted it to you. Listen to my voice so that when you hear those who are against you, you may know how to free yourselves of their ties and traps. 51. Until now you have looked at life and humanity superficially. But I have come to show you the meaning and the essence of all the lessons that I have revealed to you in the 3 eras, so that you may have full knowledge of who you are, and so that you embrace your destiny as the divine master to his cross and love your fellow men in the Creator. All this is revealed to you and taught by my doctrine. Now I tell you that whoever has been marked by me does not feel superior to others that has not received that sign, because many of them will give you proof of spirituality and of possessing such great gifts like yours. 52. This is the time when the celestial bell that he calls men to a congregation, which he invites to meditate and pray. Its echo vibrates and does not cease in the depths of each heart, because it is the 3rd era, in which Elijah, as my envoy, is calling from a confine the spirits to the other world to attend the judgment. Be one of those who at that time seek for me through the Spirit and not through forms and images made by human hands, so that I can say that you are from those who have persevered in my law, since in it, the one that I gave you on Sinai, I ordered you not to worship me that way, that you should put before your eyes any image that represents my divinity. 53. If since then I have inspired spiritual worship, it is only right now that you offer it to me, O people, that at times you lose hope of reaching full regeneration and spirituality. See how I have lengthened your existence, and how I have made you walk the path of restitution and evolution, so that in your step and in your constant walk go leaving every imperfection and every stain. Do you not see how the waters blackened by the silt become purifying in its swift current? Truly I say to you, that in the same way it will happen with your spirit. 54. I am the owner of life and creation. For what I tell you, that I am the only one who knows the arcanum, eternity, and the destiny of all beings. 55. If humanity did not persist in its ignorance, its existence would be another on earth. But men rebel before my commands, they deny their destiny, and instead of collaborating with me in my work, they look for a way to avoid my laws, to do his own will. I also tell you that if humanity carefully observed each one of his acts, he would realize how at every step he is rebelling against me. 56. If I pour out my favor on men, they become selfish. If I grant them to savor the joy, they go to excess. If I put their strength to the test, in order to temper their spirit, they protest. And if I allow the chalice of bitterness to reach their lips to purify them, they deny life and feel they lose faith. If I put the burden on their shoulders of a large family, they despair, and when I lift one of their loved ones from the earth, they accuse me of being unjust. 57. I never see you satisfied. I never hear that you bless my name in your tests, nor do I contemplate that you desire, through your life, to work in my creative work. 58. Do you not remember the examples that in Jesus I came to give you, by consecrating that life to glorify his Father? 59. Jesus possessed nothing on earth, and yet he never protested his poverty, had to leave his mother and knew to renounce everything, for the love of the one who sent them. His work was arduous and his journey was difficult until the end. But he never rebelled. He was persecuted and mocked, judged and finally killed. Moreover, from his heart, from his lips and even from his eyes, only spring blessings, forgiveness, and comfort for those who loved him, as well as those who denigrated him. 60. But not only in me can you find examples worthy of imitation. Remember the meekness of Abraham, when his Lord he asked for the life of his son. The patience of Job, who blessed me in each of his tribulations, and just like those examples, many more that have come through history. 61. Sometimes you are astonished when you come to see some sick person who patiently carries his cross, some blind or paralytic who bless my will. At other times you fail to understand the conformity of a father who has just lost his son to whom he loved. And it is that this conformity, that patience and that compliance with the designs of God, is not conceived by men materialized from this time, so far from the truth. It is I who is putting those beautiful examples of humility, obedience to my will, and spiritual elevation, so that you have models to imitate in your trials. 62. I tell you that when this humanity does everything that is my will, pain will not be known on earth, because my peace will be in his spirit. My peace be with you.